Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast for another segment of 20 random questions. I'm your host, John the Truth Youre, and today's guest is professional boxer Mengistu ZarZar. How you doing?
Man, let's go. What question you got, man? What's the questions, man?
slow down, ZarZar. You're always in a big hurry, dude. First of all, I want to talk about how are you doing, man? Because you seem to be down in Atlanta. Now you're back up in Minnesota. I hear you got a fight May 11th in Minnesota. Is this true?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I got to fight May 11th. I'm coming to let people know that I still can do it.
Okay, so there's a card May 11th down at the Hyatt in Minneapolis, and you're going to be on it. Do you know your opponent yet or no?
Not. Tony is trying to put it together right now. I don't 100% know who I'm fighting yet.
Okay, but the fans can definitely show up and see ZarZar in the ring.
Oh, yeah. I will be there for sure May 11th.
Have you actually started your camp yet or no?
I'm one of those fighters that I never leave camp.
Oh, so you're always training. I know you're always in shape.
Always training. I'm the type of guy, if I go 3 days while training, I feel fat and out of shape and sloppy in my mind. So I got to train. Training, it's not just for fighting. For me, it's a lifestyle.
All right. Well, listen, so let's get to the 20 random questions then. So question one. Now, I don't want to talk about the boxing yet. I want the fans to understand where you came from, how you came up, siblings, parents, all that stuff before we get to the boxing. So Tell me about your background and your upbringing a little bit.
I'm from Liberia. I'm from West Africa. I went through 6 different countries as a refugee, and when I came, I was placed in Washington, D.C. At that time, Washington, D.C. was the murder capital. And I had to that's how I ended up being a fighter. Like every other country I went to, from Liberia, I left Liberia when I was 8 years old. And every other country I went to, they spoke a different language. So every time when I went to Sierra Leone, they spoke Creole. I only spoke English. So when I went to school, I had to fight because I was the only English-speaking kid in the class like that. I mean, they got other dialects, so I had to learn that. I went to Ghana, I had to fight too. I went to Ivory Coast, they speak French. I speak English, I had to fight. So I went to a lot of different countries, and then when I got to America, I had to, in Washington, D.C. at that time, 1993, it was a murder capital. I had to fight too because I was from Africa and I was different. So to me, I've been fighting my whole life, man. People don't know that. People that know me know that, but people that don't know me think I started fighting since I came into boxing. Nah, man. I've been knocking shit out since the 2nd grade, man.
So how did you end up coming to the States?
The war came to my country. And they came to kill me, my father, and my family. And my father was one of those blessed people. My father came to America in the 70s and graduated on a Christian scholarship. So he was already an American citizen. And he came to America when the war got serious, and through the Lutheran social services and stuff like that, the church helped me and my family and my father and brought us to America. So
now, how many don't you have a lot of siblings?
My father supposedly is 26. But I only know about 20.
So you have 26 brothers and sisters?
I have 26 brothers and sisters, and I'm one of those people that I always eat fast. I do everything fast. Like I got an interview, I'm like, let's go. Because I got so many brothers and sisters that if you don't step up to the opportunity, somebody's gonna snatch it out your hand so fast. Like especially food, you better eat your food fast. Fast, the brother's gonna take your food and eat it.
Okay. All right. Question
Older
two.
brother, I'm one of the youngest. I'm one of the youngest. I'm not one of the oldest. I'm one of the youngest. So my brothers made me very, very, very rough. And then when I went in the streets, it just made me even more rough. So I've been fighting all my life. You know, I got a story to tell.
Okay, so let's get to that question too. Then, how did you get involved in the sport of boxing? Then,
I got in the sport of boxing. I got involved in the sport of boxing because I beat up me. I'm very good at chess. I'm very good at chess. People underestimate me, and I take their money all the time. And me and somebody was playing chess for money. An older guy. He's about, at that time I was 27 and he was about 40. And we was playing for chess, and he ended up taking my money, and I ended up overpaying him. And then when I overpaid him the money, 1 second. When I overpaid him the money, I went back to get the money, and he told me, "You're not getting your money back." And I told him, "Man, okay, cool, keep the money. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna fight with you. Keep the money. I'm just gonna gamble with somebody else." This was in prison. So I started gambling with somebody else, and the guy ran out of the money I gave them. And a week later, he came back and told me that in front of 90 men, it was 90 men sitting. I was playing chess with somebody else, gambling with somebody else, and he came in front of 90 men and told me I can't sit out that spot. So I said, "Why I can't sit out this spot?" He said, "If you sit at this spot, I've been sitting at this spot for 15 years. You've been here 2 years. This is my spot. I own this spot. You can't be at this spot. If you got a problem, come to my room right now." And as soon as I went to his room, he hit me. Boom! And we started fighting, man. We fought for about 10 minutes. And I came out the cell. I had a busted lip. My lip was bleeding. And he came out the cell. His face was bleeding bad. So everybody thought I fucked him up, but I didn't. It was just a good fight. It was a great fight. And they took me to the hole. And when I got out the hole, I did about 40 days in the hole. When I got out the hole, everybody in the joint started coming up to me like, "How the fuck did you get with that guy?" I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "That guy is a well-known knockout artist, and everybody ever fought, he knocks him the fuck out. How did you get in there with him?" And when that happened, everybody in the joint just started telling me, "Man, you need to start boxing." And since that day, I just started boxing.
so you started in prison, or you started when you got out? Oh, you started boxing in prison?
Yes.
Okay, so they actually had like you.
Now it wasn't like legally. It wasn't like legally, but the prison fights was worse. It was worse than the actual boxing because, you know, people was grabbing knives and stuff.
But I mean, they didn't have like shows or nothing. They didn't have no underground matches or nothing.
They did in the 60s and the 70s, but they took it in the 80s too. But they took it away because.
So when did you finally get in a regular boxing gym?
I came home in 2012, and the first day I came home, I told my cousin I wanted to box, and he took me to Johnny Gant. The first day I came home, I went to Johnny Gant gym, and I started training with Johnny Gant. He fought Sugar Ray Leonard in '78.
And where was that gym located?
Atlanta, Georgia. It's called the Art of Boxing. And I started training with Johnny Gant, and Johnny Gant had me in the mirror doing the same thing for 3 months. He had me doing the same. I was so upset. I was so irritated. But it's 15 years later. Well, it's 13 years later. And I thank God I met him because he taught me how to box the right way.
So how did you go from Atlanta, then how did you end up in Minnesota?
Because when my family came to America, we're from Washington, D.C. Okay, so when we came to America, Washington D.C. was our home. Lutheran Social Service helped us to get a house and everything. You know what I'm saying? And my father ended up going back to Africa and coming up on some money that he hid during the war, because I'm from Liberia. It was a war. So my father had money that he hid that the rebels never found. My father went back to Africa, got that money, and came back to America and bought the house in Minnesota. And that's when they realized that a lot of immigration, they had a meeting in the East Coast. All the immigrants are moving to Minnesota because Minnesota had good, cheap housing. Minnesota was giving out food. Minnesota was just nice to the immigrants. And so the immigrants decided to make Minnesota the homes. That's why this was in the late 90s. That's why there's so many immigrants here. When I first got here, it was no immigrants. It was no black people. Like, it was just a few. I got to Minnesota in 1997, November. I got to the country May 1993. And I was in D.C. the whole time.
Okay. So well, go ahead.
So my home, I can't really tell you my home because I'm from Africa. When I came to America, I spent 5 years in D.C. Then I spent high school and college in Minneapolis. But I had been in Atlanta about 14 years.
And how did you end up down in Atlanta then?
I went to prison. They shipped me to Atlanta, Georgia. I got in some trouble in the feds. I got into federal trouble in the feds. Shipped me to Atlanta, Georgia. And when I was getting released out of Atlanta, Georgia, everybody in Atlanta, Georgia was like, don't go back up north. Stay down here. You're going to meet a girl. You're going to do so good. And everything they told me happened. I stayed in Atlanta, and now I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
Okay. All right. Well, question 3. What boxers have inspired you in your career?
What boxers have inspired me? A lot, man. Two-Ways out of Minnesota. Two-Ways inspired me a lot. Cause he sparred with me 50 to 100 times, and every time after we sparred, he told me what I was doing wrong.
Are you talking about Caleb Truex?
Yeah, man, that's my boy, man. He inspired me, and I also like how he carries himself, man. He carries himself, you know, like a total gentleman, man. You know what I mean? So I got nothing but respect for him. You know, I like a lot of the Cuban boxers. I like a lot of foreign boxers that come to the country with nothing, that had to swim to get to America just to fight. I like those type of guys. I like the guys that get it from the dirt. You know, from the guys that get it from nothing. You know, so a lot of guys inspire me, man. The money is inspiring too, but I'm more about the craft.
Okay.
About the journey.
All right, question 4. What's something that your boxing fans don't know about you?
Boxing fans don't know how much work I put in. They don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. They think it's natural talent. No, well, it's natural too, but I put in a lot of work that they don't see, that they don't know. I didn't just appear. I started boxing when I was seriously when I was 28. So you think about that, and I feel right now, I feel like I'm 30 because I started so late, and my body is not beat up. My body is rested. So I feel like I do another 4 or 5 years easily.
Okay. Question 5. What's the best advice you ever got from another boxer, and who was it?
Man, I forgot his name, man. It was a boxer. We fought in Louisville, Kentucky. I knocked him out, man, you know, but after the fight, man, he grabbed my hand and started praying with me, man. He started praying with me. He told me he want God to bless me and my family, man. And it just touched my heart, man. He touched my heart, man. He made me leave out of the boxing ring. I was like, damn, that dude, that's a powerful dude. You know, even though it was a fight, it was just, he was talking about the bigger fight in life. But I don't know his name. I forgot his name, man. But No, I don't know his name.
Okay. All right, question 6. What's something that you're very passionate about besides boxing?
Respect. Respect. I'm more passionate about respect than boxing.
Okay.
Like respect is important.
Oh, I agree.
It's
Question 7. Have you ever had an incident where you thought you were going to die?
very. Nah, because the only place I've ever had an incident I thought I was gonna die was in my dream. It never happened in reality, man, because I'm too swift on my feet and I try to think ahead. It happened in my dream a few times, but I never actually died in my dream because when it's about to happen, I get up. So it never happened, man. So that never happened. I'm not expecting it to ever happen.
Okay. All right. Question 8. Can you tell me an interesting story out of your boxing career? Anything?
Say an interesting story. Okay, every time I step, every time I fight and they call my name, I take a step. I've been taking a step, like a big step, every time, and that's called a big shot step. I got it from Malice Big Shot Ellis. He's my real coach. Because when Johnny Gant started training me, Johnny Gant had no time, and when Malice Ellis took me under his wings and trained me till he couldn't train me no more. We moved in together in the house, and he just trained me all day, every day for about 4 years.
Okay.
And he stopped. But Malice is in the hospital right now. So that's why you always see me like I haven't had a coach since him. Because that's my real coach is in the hospital. He tells, you know what I mean? That's the guy we have a chemistry. We have a chemistry out of this world. And since he's been gone, I really just have a problem listening to other people. Because most of them don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just fucking never did.
So who's coaching you for this fight May 11th then?
I mean, I have a coach in Atlanta. I know a few people in Minneapolis. So I was gonna put that together this weekend because I really don't know who I'm fighting yet. Don't know who I'm fighting yet, but I'm staying ready. I want to fight whoever they put in front of me. I don't give a hell who they put in front of me, man. I've been trying to fight a champion for so long. I've been fighting cruiserweights. I'm not even a cruiserweight, man. I'm ready at 168. I fight cruiserweights. So that's to tell you what type of person I am. You know what I mean? So it don't matter who I fight.
Okay. Yeah. Question 9. Why do you box?
Why do I box? It's the best. It's the best for me. To me, it's the best therapy. It's therapy for me. Mentally, it's therapy for me. Physically, it's therapy for me. Emotionally, it's therapy for me. Psychologically. So when I box, I feel accomplished. I feel like a better person when I exercise. So it builds my self-esteem. My self-esteem is out of this world. It just builds confidence. It just builds character, and it makes you understand that you can be humble. You can be humble. Anybody can be humble. Boxing have humbled me a lot. So even though I haven't really lost none of them fights, they saying I'm losing. I haven't lost none of them fights. I'm telling you, they're lying, man. All they do is lie.
Okay. All right. Question 10. Who has been your favorite opponent that you fought?
Phil the Drill. Who else? Phil the Drill is my favorite opponent that I fought because I just like how I wish we could do it again. I want to do it again. I just like how it was just like how we let the world, not Minnesota, we let the world know that, it goes down in Minnesota too. This is before George Floyd. me and Phil, that fight in November, man, that was the last fight that happened in Minnesota, and then George Floyd happened, and then all that shit happened, and then boxing was gone for about a whole year or two. You know, so I miss those days. I wish I could do it again with Phil, but he don't want it. I want to do it with Al Sands. Stop running from me, Al Sands. Be a man and fight me.
I think Al's about done too, though.
Retire then. Give me the belt. Say I don't want to fight ZarZar. ZarZar beat my ass. I headbutt him. Fight me again, Al. I dare you fight me again. Please. Duluth. Al is scared of me.
All right, question 11. Let's move on. If you got into a street fight with 3 guys, what 2 boxers would you choose to be on your side to fight with?
See, when you asked me that question, you gave me a memory. With 3 guys, you know. But I'm just going to answer the question. What 3 guys do I choose to fight with?
Well, you'd be one of them, but who would be the other 2 guys?
I go with Sina Ibeko. And I go with Caleb with Tourex.
With Caleb Truex?
Yeah, I go with Caleb Tourex, and I go with Sina Ibeko. I go with Tourex because his experience and his smarts. I'll go with Ibeko because Ibeko is just on a different level. And I fight with Morel. Morel didn't take that drug test, but that's not my business. I'm not even going to get into it. It's not my business.
All right. Question 12. What animal best fits your personality?
Me, a leopard. Easily a leopard. Yeah, because I like to go after the lions, the bad guys. I like to beat the bad guys. That's what leopards do to lions.
Okay. All right. Question 13. Who are some of the musical artists that you listen to when you train?
Oh man, I listen to everybody, man. I don't discriminate on the music, man. You might catch me listening to Bon Jovi, man. You know? Yeah, man. I don't discriminate. Look, good music is timeless. Good music is timeless. So I like timeless music. You know, I like the 70s, I like the 80s, I listen to everything, man. So I might put my Pandora or my Apple Music, I put it on the 80s some days, I put it on the 90s, I put it on the 70s. It's just all about my mood.
Okay.
If I really want to beat you really bad, I might listen to Mozart to train. Mozart and Beethoven, yeah. Classic.
All right, question 14. If you died and were reincarnated as an animal, what animal would you come back as?
I come back as a mongoose.
Okay.
Yeah, I come back as a mongoose and just go after all the snakes. And I kill it. All snakes gotta die.
All right, question 15. If you were to go to outer space, what 2 people would you take with you?
What the fuck other questions are you? What type of, is this sci-fi? What type of questions are you asking me, bro? You asking me, okay, what 3 people would I take to
No, if you could go to outer space, what 2 people would you take with you?
My kids. I take my kids with me. Why not? Okay. Give them an experience. You saw my daughter on that billboard. Yeah, she does 10 activists. You know, so those are my best friends, man. My kids are my best friends. Don't nobody you know, come before them.
Okay, question 16. Who is the hardest puncher you've ever faced in the ring in a fight or sparring?
Cedric Boswell. Cedric Boswell, the heavyweight from, he's older now, but I sparred him when I first started boxing in like 2012. And man, he set me up with a rib shot. He's the only boxer I can actually remember that hit me. And I was like, oh, shit. But all those other boxers, I eat their shit. But Cedric Boswell got me one time well.
Okay. All right, question 17. Are you artistic in any way with your hands as far as like building things, painting, drawing, photography, mechanics, anything like that?
I could do anything. I'm one of those people that I could do anything that I read and study. You know, I right now I focus on my transportation business, but if I really had to do anything and I had to read it and study it, I could do it.
You have a transportation business?
Yeah, I have a Champlex. Yes, I do.
What is it called?
Called Champlex. You don't know it? I post it on the media all the time. You don't see it?
Yeah, but explain it so the fans understand what it is.
No, I just got a transportation business. I just that's part of the reason, you know, I see.
Is it like a taxi service?
No, it's like more like a limo.
Oh, limo service.
It's
Okay.
more like service. It's more like I got a few trucks and I got a Sprinter. And I do a lot of transportations out of the airport, the busiest airport in the world. Atlanta.
Oh, that's down in Atlanta?
Busiest airport. So I do a lot of you know, so I work hard. After I train, I try to, you know, grow my business.
Okay. Do you just do that on your own or you got employees?
I have 2 employees.
Okay.
I have 2 employees. Yeah.
All right. Question 18. Oh, go ahead.
Out to Minnesota.
You're gonna what?
Eventually trying to branch out to Minnesota.
Okay. Question 18. Do you believe in ghosts and aliens?
John, where are you coming from with these questions?
That's what this show is. 20 random questions.
But do I believe in ghosts and aliens? Hell yeah, I believe in ghosts and aliens.
So you asked me where I come up with these questions, and then you say yes to both the ghosts and the aliens.
Because I'm thinking you're gonna come ask me some boxing questions, man. I'm thinking you're gonna tell, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I want to see Al Sands, man. Why can't Al Sands come back and see me one time?
All right, question 19. What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
The weirdest thing I ever eaten. I'm one of those people that I'm stuck to a certain program and I'm stuck doing certain things. So if I'm messing with a girl, I stick with her. If I'm eating a certain type of food, I stick with it. I don't eat nothing that I don't understand or know. So
okay, so you've never really eaten anything out of the ordinary then?
No, I'm not from Africa. If I tell you something, you wouldn't know. If I tell you it's a meat in Africa called kiss meat that you get out of the river and the swamps, and you boil it and you can suck it. But y'all don't have that in America.
But that's what I'm talking about. So tell me something like that.
Oh, kiss meat.
Kiss meat?
Kiss meat. You get it out the swamps in Africa, and you boil it for like days, and then you cook it, and then you can suck the meat right out the shell, like a turtle shell. It's called kiss meat. It's only in West Africa. I never seen it in other countries.
All right, question 20. If you changed your first name to a common American name, what name would you choose?
Oh, it's gonna have to be Michael. Why not?
Okay.
Why not? Yeah, Mikes are always the greatest. All the Mikes. Michael Jackson,
Michael Tyson,
Michael Jordan. You know, so I have to be a Mike.
Okay.
Hey, why not?
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on and doing the random 20 questions.
But listen, this is what I'm gonna tell you, man. After the Al Sands fight, you came up to me, man, and you said something to me like, man, it was easy, man. Let me tell you something, man to man, right? Truth to truth. Al Sands cannot beat me. Al Sands can't beat me. Al Sands can't beat me. And that boy in Alabama that stepped on my foot, you can't beat me either. Ain't none of y'all beat me. I'm undefeated. Boxing in America is all about money. So people just put me on fights and rob me and cheat me. Oscar de la Hoya, boy. I fought Oscar de la Hoya, boy. They hid the tapes. I asked them to give me the tapes. They refused to give me the tapes. So I'm telling you that boxing is not real. It's getting to the point where it's like WWF, and it's not good for the sport. Because you're building champions of guys back like me. That's the real champions. We guys like me that work so hard. What happens to us? We work hard our whole lives too. Guys like Jake Paul come in the sport and get all this money. But guys like me been working for 20, 30 years and I can't even get 100,000. So it makes me wonder why. Is it because of my nationality? Is it because I don't think it's not color. Boxing isn't about color, but it's a lot about nationality. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like at this point I'm just doing it because I'm good at it. I know that I'm just gonna make some money and keep it moving. I can't be a champion. Why? Because where I'm from. I understand that. So if I come and beat any champion, they're gonna say I lost. But once I know in my heart I beat you, I don't give a fuck.
But now on May 11th, though, they're gonna see you in the ring again.
Man, whoever they put me in front, whoever they put in front of me, go get whoever they want, man. Go get whoever. Go get a top fighter, man. I've been fighting top cruiserweights. So what can a top light heavyweight do to me?
Well, you got anything to say to your fans before we go?
Man, focus on what you got. Do what you got to do and focus on the task ahead. And mind your business and stay in your lane. That's it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. And with that, the truth has spoken.